Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me at 339-1670 or 238-6716. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also contact me. Now, viewers, those of you that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Facebook, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali in your search bar. You will see it popping up. Like and share as we go live. Remember, we bring you up-to-date news on our page during the course of the day. So for those of you who can't see it on TV, look us up on Facebook, on YouTube, TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. Now, viewers, our viewership are growing on Facebook and YouTube. I thank you for that. Remember, I have my drive going on. Feel free to plant a seed of $1,000. You know, I often say, when you believe, sometimes you might believe in God and you might want a miracle. And you will hear people saying, plant a seed. Plant a seed on behalf of something. A lot of people called me and said, Saieed, we are planting the seed on behalf of this. We are planting it on behalf of that. Yes, we understand that you are going to do something with it. Yes. We trust you. You have been on TV for the last 2 years. You don't ask nobody for nothing, not even to fund your show. And we admire that about you. You are digging into your own pocket and creating a platform for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, which nobody is doing, from their own pocket. From their own pocket. You give us that platform where we can actually call in and voice a concern. And to top it off side, we are seeing that you are getting bills and legislations and things passed. Something we have never seen from any other host in no program. I am proud to say that. Because this is the response I've been getting from people. So, my petition is not about asking you for $1,000 to put in my pocket. I keep telling you all this. It's for the poor. Plant a seed. Saieed, I'm planting at $2,000. I'm giving you $3,000. We like what you just do. So feel free, viewers. Please call 339-167 or 238-6716 and plant a seed on behalf of your family, on behalf of your grandmother health, on behalf of the grandfather, the sickness. You all heard Fire Friday. We had a lady on the telephone doing an interview with us. She was sick and she planted a seed because she believed. She believed. So feel free to call. It's for a worthy cause. Like I said, it ain't going in this pocket. And I'm proud to say that. So viewers, as we start off tonight's show, feel free to call in. 238-6716 is a live calling program on Synergy TV from Monday to Friday. Those of you who don't know about it, those of you who know about it, tell the one that who don't know. Let them know this is the only platform you could call and express your concerns. And you can see changes. So even the marijuana planters, I get bills legalized for all your 30 grams, 4 trees in the back of your house. Contribute something for the poor. I'm asking you. So as we move on tonight's show, viewers, as of Wednesday, the first batch of citizens should receive support grant from the government of Trinidad and Tobago. The money is expected to be sent to the bank account today, which is Tuesday, and should be available by tomorrow, which is Wednesday. This was revealed in Parliament by Finance Minister Colin Imbert on Monday. The minister noted that there have been over 30,000 applications for grants. Now remember, there's the self-relief grant, there's the rental grant, food card grant. Feel free to partake. It is yours. You have rights to it. He said the government will spend over $4 billion in social support within the next 3 months. Now, what I am doing is that I am keeping track of what Ms. Camille Robinson-Regis said, how much food card, how much on disability, how much on rental, how much on income relief grant. I am keeping tabs of it. I am working out figures. So we want to see now how the $4 billion is being spent over the next 3 months. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, only in Trinidad and Tobago, essential and frontline workers are being treated in a very bad manner, because they bring out the insurance and something for the police.
Yes.
What about the people who sweeping the street every day? The garbage man who picking up the garbage every day.
Correct.
What the government put in place for us. And when we only work from Monday to Friday each week, and on Saturdays on weekend they want to bring in contract workers. And when they have extra work, they're calling in the people who stay home within our own job, who not in the front line thing, and giving them the extra time. But the people who actually on the front line is getting nothing. Nothing.
Wow.
I work in the city corporation and it's nothing. And they need to change that. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, my friend. You see, viewers, this is where you get the real facts from the people from the ground. Not the one on top, you know. From the groundsmen. So according to the minister, over 75,000 households in Trinidad and Tobago have benefited from the additional social measures.
Madam Speaker, a targeted and sizable financial support program for an initial period of 3 months at a cost of approximately $4.5 billion is providing a safety net for the most vulnerable households and businesses.
Now, viewers, over 75,000 households in Trinidad and Tobago have benefited from additional social support measures. He said to date, over $65 million have been spent by the Ministry of Social Development on COVID-19 relief. Now, what I would like the minister to do, whether it be the Minister of Finance or whether it be the Minister of Social Development, since Camille Robinson-Regis is informing the public on what the social development is doing, I would like her to come out and explain to the public how 65 million have been spent by the Ministry of Social Development thus far. Give us a breakdown on how the money was spent. How much was spent on school feeding cards? How much was spent on social relief grant? How much was spent on rental income? The rental that you have to pay. Now, this is what the minister said. To date, over $65 million have been spent. Come out and give the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago a breakdown of the figures. Because I will be asking that. As long as you all keep saying that we spent 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, how is it spent? This is what I want to know, and this is what the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago needs to know. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
All right. Go right ahead, you're live on Real
I
Talk.
want to find out about the Minister of Health, the investigation he was doing on the Sandy Grande housing, where the logistics were.
That's in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Well, I wait. Thank you for raising the topic. I'm waiting for the minister. I am waiting for the minister to release it. Because if the minister don't release that, which means some fraud or something has taken place. Because I'm waiting for the EMA report to be published. I'm waiting for OSHA to be published. What I heard is that there are documents in the Attorney General's office. So I am waiting. I am waiting 2 days, sometimes 3 days for the week. I will raise it because I want the public to understand where the 105,000 went and who authorized the payment. Because if finance minister have to authorize any payment to any member of the P&M administration, any department, the minister have to go forward with it. Because we heard Mr. Terence Dialsing said he don't know who his babe is. So how did the 105 came into approval? I am waiting. Mr. Faris, I am waiting patiently. So as we move on tonight, feel free to call in 238-6716. I still want to hear what your councillor is doing or your MP is doing in your area, because we heard the Prime Minister said, every MP for their area is donating from their salary. So if the MP is donating in their salary, which means the community is supposed to be getting a little help. And if you are not seeing it happening, feel free to call 238-6716 and light them up. And light them up because you're not attending to your community. The minister revealed that $30 million have been allocated. Now, this is our next mashup, $30 million have been allocated to religious organizations to provide meals for citizens.
Today, Madam Speaker,
in meals.
the government has decided.
My cook shop. I might get about a 5 million or 10 million to cook food for people. Now, what I want, listen to this, regional corporations would also get $30 million to assist with providing meals. Which corporation in Trinidad and Tobago does cook food for people? Which regional corporation does do that? They may have money to buy a broom or a shovel to give the workers. They may have money to patch the little road. But you're giving them $30 million to provide with meals. You're giving religious organization, you have been allocated $30 million to them. Which church? Now, I would love every religious sector head in Trinidad and Tobago, if and when they get money from the government, please come out and say. Please come out and say, because I will hold the government accountable for this. It's taxpayers' dollars all getting, you know. It's taxpaying dollars, you know. You said we have no congregating, we have no churches, we have no mosque, we have no temple. So I want to see where $30 million going. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Saieed Ali, good night. I hear people talking about every other work institution and wherever it is. I wonder if the government realized that they have a place in Santa Rosa Park called the International Horse Racing. Do you know anything about that?
International Horse Racing?
Yeah, the horse racing track. Arima Horse.
Santa Rosa, yeah.
Santa Rosa Park.
No,
Well,
I think they shut down.
They shut down now, yeah, but I would like you to, because you is Real Talk, and I feel you is the righteous person.
To investigate the matter.
Yeah, we have been working there for years, Saeed. Paid no NIS. They paid no NIS us. We have no kind of benefits. You could work 50 years, you could work 100 years, no kind of benefits.
Wow.
Right?
But the horse racing industry is a big industry in Trinidad.
It's a very big industry.
Millions.
It have hundreds of people working there.
Yes, yes.
And I would like you, Saeed, to take some time and investigate this because you know in this no work service you think you pay no NIS, you have no benefits, nothing at all. The facility and all is deteriorating, and nobody paying attention. Nobody never talk about that. I hear they talk about all the
Everything
places.
else. All right. Thank you, my friend. I will get a camera guy and we will drive up there and see what is taking place up on that area. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for raising the matter. Now, viewers, listen this, Listen this. The finance minister further noted that it is the hope of the government to deliver 10,000 grants per week at a cost of $400 million. I will be keeping track. Students at the University of the West Indies campus in Jamaica and Barbados will each receive $300 in assistance. That's almost $2,000. Minister Embo said the government intends to keep the national budget at $53 billion in deficit, despite a deficit. They plan to keep the budget at $53 billion despite a deficit. Well, let's see how that goes. He said $240 million in outstanding VAT refunds were paid to business to assist keeping them up and running to save their labor force. But you're telling non-essential business to close down. More or less it's just government workers working. So this $240 million that you pay in outstanding VAT to business to assist in keeping them up and running. So which means you are telling me that there are companies in Trinidad, large scale, medium scale and small scale, receive their VAT refund and maybe not assisting their workers. Is that what you are saying, Mr. Embert? Because that is what I have here. So which means the lower class business and the small business have inherited from their VAT refund, but sometimes, now I have gotten a lot of calls from workers in various places. Said, our boss is refusing to sign our relief grant and even refusing to sign whatever form, probably rental assistance, in order to get rent, in order to get a little food to eat. They are refusing. Well, listen this. When COVID-19 finish and go on with, that means you will see many signs up. You will see many signs up. Skilled worker wanted. Workers wanted. Yeah. I'm telling all of me for no party. I for the people. I for the small man. You see how small I is? Call her good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Yes, Saeed, Trinidad is 1.3 million people.
Yes.
And this money will be given out. They're only giving people who pay taxes.
Yes.
So what about the lower class of people who are paying no taxes?
That is what I get
They
into.
have nothing to get from this government.
Yeah.
You understand?
Thank you, my friend.
So when
Minister Imbod also added that $50 million was spent. Minister Imbod also added that $50 million was sent to the Tobago House of Assembly to assist with COVID-19 efforts. So those in Tobago, if you ain't get no rental assistance grant, 2386716. If you ain't get no food grant, 2386716. If you ain't get no food card, 238-6716 from 7 to 8, Monday to Friday. Let us hear what you have to say. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
This government only wants time to channel the money.
I have a big question tonight, you know. There is a security company in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm going to give you a pattern, eh? There's a security company in Trinidad and Tobago that have gotten the contract to supply bracelets to person that came out from jail. Good? It's an $80 million contract. Now listen this. Listen this. The Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago said they planning to abolish the transportation of prisoners. They are opening a virtual conference in jail. They are putting up a structure. It's been in the making for years. They are putting up a structure and they want to do video conference. So this security company would abolish the transportation of prisoners to and from the jail. Now, when that company loses that contract, they have to find some way in order to make back that $80 million at the end of the 12 months. So what the government came up with is that we are giving the same company now the $80 million contract to supply bracelets for prisoners. And I more believe that the domestic violence, these bracelets will be worn on people who commit domestic violence act. This is where I feel this bracelet would be worn. Now listen this. Listen this. What I want the Minister of National Security to come out and say, we understand that the company get the contract, $80 million. Well, let me tell you something. I want to know how many security companies in Trinidad and Tobago tendered for that contract. Keep in mind, the Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, gave four security companies contract without anything. Without anything. It was never tendered for. It was never released in the media. So $80 million going to a company without, let's just say being tendered for. So if other companies are being tendered for, why didn't they release? Why didn't they release it in a press, printed press, that we are inviting companies, security companies, or other tech companies to tender for this $80 million contract? And if they did, why didn't every morning they love to keep press briefing? Dress up nice and come in front of the camera and keep your press briefing for 1 hour. Why didn't you mention that? Why did you mention that? Because transporting the prisoners will come to a halt because of video conference in the jail. So they're creating a way now to move this $80 million from here and you put it here. Now on top of that $80 million, listen carefully. That company would have to have the hardware and the software and a monitoring crew to monitor every individual that is wearing a bracelet. To monitor them where they are. So it's another course with tech. It's another course with workers. It's another course with monitoring. And now, what I want to know now, I will take all the calls and I want to hear what they have to say. 238-6716 is an $80 million scandal. How many companies tendered for that contract? I want to know. Trinidad and Tobago want to know because it's $80 million. You will be closing on an $80 million contract here and you take it from here and you put it here. So they ain't lost at all. They ain't lost at all. Caller, good night.
Hi, good evening, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yes, just wanted to say to you that I think that your program is an excellent program.
Thank you.
Now, every night you come on television and you ask these questions. Excellent questions. Your callers, big contributions. But you know, we are not getting any answers. We are not getting any answers. I mean, your point tonight about accountability is such a beautiful point, and it is a current point. But nobody is accounting to us.
Hold on, caller.
Yes.
I will get my answers in the public. Watch and you would see something. Mark my words. Last night I asked Terence Dial Singh if there is any member of CAFA who contracted COVID-19. Today, I think after 12, they released a bulletin on our press.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
No one was in contact with COVID-19 or no one got the thing. I just get my answers, you know. And the minister just bring it out and tell the people just how I ask, they would follow the day or the day after. Hold on, we go see. Thank you for calling in. But I want the Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, come out and tell the public how many companies, whether they are big or whether they are small, tendered for that $80 million contract. And when was the tender form released to the public? Don't tell me about no backdoor thing. Don't tell me about backdoor thing. I don't want to hear that. Because it's tax money going down there. What will I try to do? Or let's shift $80 million from here because you realize in the coming months, that this company would no longer receive that $80 million. So let's switch from point A to point B. And it's the same $80 million. And let me tell you something. They will run into expense. You know why? They need to have people to monitor the people who wear the bracelets. They need to have a command center. They need to have vehicles to roll with. And what are we waiting to see now? Should somebody or should some individual wearing that bracelet end up close to somebody, I want to know who is the person going and hold that man. I want to know if it is a private security company going to hold that individual or a police officer going to hold that individual. Caller, good night.
Saeed, pleasant good night.
Go right ahead, my dear.
Saeed, these people run things in this country. They can't take away $80 million from these 1% and not put something in place as soon as possible, even though it is not legit, because they have nothing in place with these ankle bracelets here. They don't know about that nonsense here. That is outside thing, but in order to fill back the pockets and the buckets of the 1% off of our tax money and my children's tax money, they have to refill that $80 million and give it back to them as soon as possible. They can't stick. So they may studying COVID. They're studying how to put back that money for them 1% before they retire. Secondly, Saeed, you see, Digicel is a very, very dirty company.
All right, caller. All right, caller. I can't say that. I cannot say that. All I can say is that I thank you for making your point. I understand that. But my phone is a digital phone and it's work good. I just get my service. I just get my calls. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead. Audio.
Saeed,
Yeah?
I have a message for Sinanan, boy.
What's that?
Message for Sinanan. Campaign, all the cases he used when he campaign for the local election, all the cases. That you got to learn that languages. They show how the money. Let them people understand how the money is spent.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I'm telling all you, I will run with this $80 million until the Minister of National Security and the Minister of Finance come out and say how they allocated that $80 million and who tendered for contracts. Don't tell me about under the table. I don't want to hear nothing about under the table. I want to know how many companies or how many tech companies were invited to tender for that particular contract. Watch me, we have a next oil thing coming up, you know, but tomorrow night I'm going to discuss that oil thing. Because right now we have a company receiving $80 million. $80 million. Normally when a tender would release, the Minister of Finance would come out and say, well, they are welcoming tenders for so-and-so project. I didn't hear any of it. I did not hear any of it. But I will run with this until one of them come out. Until they feel bad. Until they feel stink. Why Saieed don't shut him out? Why Saieed don't shut him out? Bring black and white on the table and show the public. Me no business who is 1% and who is 2% and who is 3%, you know. Because at the end of the day, you didn't reach where you are just so. You didn't reach where you are just so. Who made Real Talk number one? The citizen of Trinidad and Tobago and by extension viewers outside. You know why? Because I'm bringing the straight facts to all you. And I'm giving all of the time to call in and voice your concern. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
You will not get any answers from the PNM.
Watch and you go see. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling in. Watch and you go see. Watch and you go see. Just imagine. $30 million going to the religious sector to provide food. How many religious sector is going to inherit from that $30 million? You're giving another $30 million to regional corporations to supply food. Which corporation in Trinidad and Tobago cooking food? Eh? I standing up on my show and I asking social development to run a little $2 million. Eh? Release a little $2 million on Real Talk, we're going to feed the poor. Because everybody watching Real Talk, they could tell you, this show is about facts. That is the man who get his 6 legislations and 2 bills passed. That is the man who get the ganja, who pushed for the marijuana. That is the man who pushed for anti-gang. That is the man who pushed for no bail for firearm. This is the man who pushed for the anti-gang with no bail for gang members or associated with gangs. Real Talk did that. Who I did it for? Not for me, you know. I could handle myself, you know. You run into my home, and I will light by light in my prayer room, you know, and I will watch you climb up a light pole. I will watch you climb up a light pole. And then I will watch you jump off. Don't play mad with me. I was the kind of madman that God created. So I don't let power get to my head. I don't let power get to my head. I will support any individual who is standing up for the right thing. I will support a government that is working for the citizen. I do business with party is. You do something good, look when ministers do something good. I just come out and applaud them. Well done. But I check in to see where $65 million was spent, and I check in to see where $400 million was going and spent. I check in. Call a good night.
Sorry, good night.
Go right ahead.
He's Pat Nothing Boy, Pat Nothing Boy.
Who's that?
Pat.
So now viewers, listen to this, eh? Each member of parliament would get 500 food cards to distribute to parents of children registered with the school feeding program. Listen to this. Already MPs received a first batch of 50 cards to distribute to families and a second batch of 47. Here we go again. This was revealed by Minister of Social Development Camille Robinson Regis in the Parliament on Monday. Take a listen.
Madam Speaker, what I'm saying is that each member of Parliament was supposed to get 500 cards. That would facilitate 20,000 families, 20,500 families as a matter of fact.
500 food cards for 20,000 family. That is maths? Is that maths? Director, run that again one more time for the people to understand what's really going on.
Madam Speaker, what I'm saying is that each member of Parliament was supposed to get 500 cards. That would facilitate 20,000 families, 20,500 families as a matter of fact.
So I would like to hear now, how many families in constituencies receive food cards? How many? Feel free to call in. Let us know. That is why I raised the topic a couple of days back. I want to know what your councillor is doing. I want to know what your MP is doing. Minister Robinson Regis, however, insisted that not every parent will receive a food card, but instead, that would be a small number.
The list was provided, and children whose parents who were on this list were supposed to be given food cards. Madam Speaker, it may be that not every single parent got, but Madam Speaker, in the main, most, if not all parents were supposed to get the food cards.
I will keep you up to date with the figures that are being spent as soon as the info comes to me. As soon as it comes to me. Feel free to call in, viewers, and voice your concern. Remember, we have a food drive going on. I am asking you all to plant a seed of $1,000. 1.3 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. Real Talk is the only program in Trinidad and Tobago that push, listen to this carefully, that push for child sex offender registry, the Firearm Act, anti-gang legislation, legislation of marijuana, legislations to make sure that a repeat offender of a firearm do not get bail. We push for smokers. Walk the road and smoke 30 grams or less. You're planting 4 trees in the back of your house and you're safe. And all you can donate $1,000 to Real Talk to feed the poor. Maybe I should start revoking back some of these things I push for. Business people call inside, talk about this, talk about that, talk about the next. But they wouldn't say, Saeed, we're contributing at 2,000. Eh? Say something now. Say something now. I started a talk for homeowners to own firearms. Eh? You know how much business called me and say, Saeed, well done, if we get a pass, we going to be good. But you refuse now. You refuse to go down in your pocket. Hey, watch me. Hey, not the deep pocket, you know. You know, to the side of your pocket just have a little fobs. You just fold up your little $100 and put it there. They refuse to go on any fobs and pelt out 1,000 for Saieed. But Saieed, we want you to talk about this. We want you to do this. We want you to do the next. All I want to do everything. You know why? Because that is Trinidad and Tobago. You want everything done, and you want it done for free. Thank God I don't ask for ad. And I could boast about that. What I'm asking for is money to feed the poor. That's what I'm asking for. That is what I'm asking for. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Mr. Saieed, I would
Yes?
like to look into the situation at Marbella Market, please.
Marbella Market.
Yeah, the vendors, them have to 2,000 every morning and evening, Saturday and Saturday evening time.
That's mad. All have a particular date for market?
Well, we sell from Monday to Saturday.
So all in the market from Monday to Saturday?
And we last week and give the people to say 1 night only.
Caller, this is what I want to find out. You all in the market from Monday to Friday every day, right?
Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday?
Yeah.
All right. You all here every day during the course of the day?
Yes, every day.
But that is madness for all to total all the goods back to all the van and then back to home and come back and offload it. That is madness. Yes. Who is the person in charge of the market?
Well, the administrator is Alison Roberts.
Who is? I'm not hearing you clearly. There's some kind of technical problem. We clearly cannot hear what you are saying. Now, viewers, I have the oil scandal story here, you know, but I so want to stay on this topic of the the bracelets. I so want to stay on that topic tonight. I will talk about the oil scandal tomorrow. So I want to find out how this $80 million contract come into effect and how much companies applied. It's 80 million, you know. We ain't talking about 80,000, you know. It's $80 million. And the minister just bring it to the forefront just so. Just like that. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
That question you are asking there about that tender and so on. And they had debate with the opposition, was allowed to talk for 20 minutes or whatever. And you will tell me that opposition vying to come into power, and none of them couldn't raise them topics for that little 20 minutes they get to talk there and bring all that out of the bill they just passed and find out about who get the contract, money was paid and all these things. What this opposition really doing as well? They're sleeping on the job. Thank you. Good night.
We had a video with Monilal? Get the video with Monilal. It was turned down by the House of Speaker. As soon as they get it straight up. All I want something, eh? You guys? You guys yet? Look for it. I want the public to understand what took place. Now, viewers, they're saying that we have a scandal going on with the oil. I want to let us keep in mind the Speaker of the House. The Speaker, it's in the rundown, guys. The Speaker of the House, her husband is the chairman of Paria Fueling and Trinidad Petroleum Limited. He is the chairman. You guys? Listen to this video.
Of the House today, understanding Order 17, for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent public importance, namely the use of institutional and infrastructural capacity in the energy sector to facilitate an illegal gasoline trade with the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The matter is definite because it pertains explicitly to widespread credible information in the international press, which revealed that sea vessels have been clandestinely moving gasoline via Point Lisas to shipping ports in Aruba and elsewhere in the region as decoys to send fuel to Venezuela. The matter is urgent because this very serious incident places Trinidad and Tobago in a rogue state category of countries acting as third-party intermediaries to prop up an autocratic and illegal government. The matter is of public importance because this development can lead to dire economic sanctions being imposed on U.S. energy companies and manufacturing enterprises doing business in Trinidad and Tobago. I so move.
Honorable members, in the interest of time, I will not repeat what I said earlier, but it applies. Honorable members, I am not satisfied that this matter qualifies under this standing order. I advise that the member may, if he so wishes, pursue this matter under Standing Order 16.
You all heard it? Her husband is the chairman of Paria Fueling and also Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited. So this matter is not urgent presently. Discuss it under something else. Discuss it under something else. We have a gas scandal that is rocking Trinidad and Tobago. It is on the lips of everybody in Trinidad and Tobago, but it's not important. It's not important. Who is the chairman of these companies? That's not important neither. If the U.S. decides to place sanctions on Trinidad, let me tell you something. We're talking about a different kettle of water. A different kettle of water is what we will be talking about. Keep in mind, we are just 1.3, 1.4 million people, you know. And this kind of bacchanal going on, you know. But nevertheless, I want to stick on the electronic monitoring, the contract that was awarded without Trinidad and Tobago knowing. Listen this. Oh, we have a call? Call good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Mr. Saeed, I would like you to look into Marbella Market.
All right, I will. I will. Thank you very much, my dear.
Thank you. Good night.
The implementations of electronic monitoring. Remember when I tell you they have to set up a command center? Listen, it will overrun in cost. The implementation of electronic monitoring would ease the burdens of the national prisons as well as the police service. This is according to National Security Minister Stuart Young, as he listed the benefits of electronic monitoring. Why can't the police do it? Why you can't employ more people in TTPS and create another body within the TTPS to monitor that? We're talking about criminals. A private security firm cannot hold a criminal. That's point number one. He said the electronic monitoring bracelets are cheaper than maintaining a prisoner in jail. So let me ask you something. You're wearing this bracelet and you go back and commit a crime. Where he going back? Where he going back? He going back and sit down on a BMW and ride up and down the highway? Or he going back in prison? So how it becomes cheaper? Point number two. He said, to date, an electronic monitoring unit has already been set up. Listen to this.
The unit will provide inter alia real-time tracking of the location of persons placed on electronic monitoring and report any alarm notifications, signal loss, device malfunction to the police or the relevant personnel. The unit has been staffed.
All you hear that? All you hear that? Now listen this. Listen this. And I have the video to back it up. Minister said Amalgamated Security Service Limited have been selected to provide the electronic monitoring bracelet.
The specifications for the electronic monitoring devices have been approved by order, Legal Notice 1 of 2014, pursuant to Section 9 of the Act. An electronic monitoring system was procured and commissioned by Amalgamated Security Services Limited, who has been engaged to provide a full turnkey solution for the supply, delivery, installation, commissioning and maintenance of an electronic monitoring solution.
What I was telling earlier all the time. What I was telling earlier all the time. Now all you understand what Real Talk coming to? $80 million. Video conference in the jail. No more transporting of prisoners. So they're condemning that. So they set up a command center now. And they're supplying a commanding post to monitor electronic bracelet. Why the TTPS cannot do that? Tell me why. Tell me why. Somebody say something. Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Just for the record, Bridget Anisette George, Speaker of the House, her husband is also Dr. Keith Rowley's personal lawyer.
Thank you very much. I know that.
And further to that, I am wondering, I can't say it on air, but I have a clear idea what it would take to satisfy this woman. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. Let's hear in it, viewers. Our vex is only 1 hour I have here now. But nevertheless, the 1 hour is be effective in Trinidad and Tobago. And the truth is come out. Listen this now. National Security Minister Stuart Young said, one important feature of the electronic monitoring bracelet is that the victim would be alerted if their perpetrators are near.
Making provision for an applicant who is granted a protection order to consent to being issued a protection device that would monitor, inform, and alert the applicant if the person against whom the protection order is made comes within the specified proximity of the applicant.
Didn't I tell you all? Protection order is more for domestic violence. Didn't I tell you all that? So, just to jog your memory, he said to date, the electronic monitoring unit has already been established. How come the public wasn't aware? There's one. How come the public wasn't aware of different companies tendering to supply these bracelets and to supply monitoring and to supply a command center? How come other companies didn't tender? Come out, just how you come out and keep your press briefing and your media briefing. Come out and tell the public how many companies, otherwise I could have tendered. I could have tendered. I have an intelligence unit running. I could have tendered. Real Talk Security Limited is registered. I showed you all that. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
You can't get that, brother. You're not a 1%.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. You're right. I am not a 1%, but I am a human being like the 1%. How did the 1% reach there? It's because the support of Trinidad and Tobago. How did the PNM administration reach there? Because of the votes of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So I wouldn't class them as 1%. I would just class them as successful business people, like the rest of business people in Trinidad and Tobago. That is how I would class them. Because I am not giving them no power. I am telling you all, I am not giving them no power. Who call them the 1%? It's because all I want to give them power. You know what's the best part about this? I was born with power. I could watch you climb up a light pole. I could watch you do that. Call her good night.
Good evening, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I tuned in about half an hour ago to this program here, but all the information you're giving me means that make the headlines in no newspapers.
You see what I mean?
I remember 2 weeks ago, a week ago, the EG say, no 80 million for amalgamated, but you tell me now again 80 million again?
But watch my caller. Transporting prisoners going out of effect just now because of the video conference coming in the jail.
So they take away one and give it an next then?
That's what they do. That's what's going on. Now I don't vex they get a contract, you know. I am not vexed they get their contract. What I want them to do is bring transparency to the public of Trinidad and Tobago. We had 10 companies tender for it. We had 15 companies tender for it, and 5 tender for it with monitoring expense and malfunction and device expense. Come on, it's $80 million we're talking about. I could have tendered for it if I knew. I have a Real Talk Security Limited registered. I have an intelligent unit running. I could have tendered for it. If not the whole thing half self. To monitor. Yeah? I asked him for $2 million to feed poor. It's going inside pocket. The land that I have up Piaco. See if I look again back. Look at it. The land up in Piaco, you see the rectangular spot? That alone is over 2 million. That alone is over 2 million because of the location. So asking all this money spending, all this money the government have, give something to Real Talk. Because Real Talk is a man down with the citizen. Side push for this and he get it. Side push for anti-gang and he get it. Side push for no bail repeat offenders of firearm and he get it. Side push for marijuana legislations and he get it. Huh? Me asking for nothing in vain. Call her good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saieed Ali, I wish the government could give you $15 million in your pocket so you would be able to feed half of this country hungry people. And that I know for sure. I wish I had $1,000 to give you, but I'm not working since the 15th, and I just still try to make a hamper every fortnight, value $250, and give it to the poor children that I just take to school. I wish I had $1,000 to give it there. I just watch a program every single day. It's the best program on TV after Real Talk. They had nothing to watch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. It's Real Talk. After this talk, you had nothing to talk. So everybody said, oh, you had nothing to talk. It have something to talk from 7 to 8. After that, it had nothing. So viewers, I would like to thank Mamu's and Sons Tire Shop. I would also like to thank Shirley Ramsaran from Gasparilla. Your daughter sent the thing today. Moms, we collect it. And I want to wish you all the best. I want to say a special good night to Elite Food Distributor from San Fernando, Davis Bini Market. Good night to you, my friend. And for the contributions of our food drive thus far, I want to thank everybody. I was supposed to give all that figure tonight. Oh God, do forgive me. Tomorrow I will give it to you all. But viewers, just imagine $150,000 for about 200 families. That is all I'm raising. That is all I am raising to help the people. Business people would call and say, Saeed, see if you can get ready to open back our place now. a side hole at 2,000. We know you're down to earth with the people and them. They ain't going to do that. They ain't going to do that. Since COVID-19 came into effect, watch my get about 1,000 calls from businessmen. Saeed, we essential. You think we could open back? See what you could do for we now. We just do this. Saeed, we just do that. All I contribute something not to the poor. All I only want to make money and make money and make money. So viewers, we are having a drive. It's a $1,000 contribution. Plant a seed. I've been telling you all how important seed is. Planting a seed, how important it is. Someone even called in to let you know she was sick and she planted a seed. And she was healed from her sickness. And when she was healed from her sickness, she didn't stop there. She didn't stop there. She continued planting and planting and planting. And by God's grace, she is given today. She is given today. She said, Saeed, I'm giving you this. Because I know what planting a seed did for me. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight. Nevertheless, we are on tomorrow night. Feel free to call me, 339-1670 or 238-6716 and plant a seed for your wife, for your children, for their education, for the health, for the bank loan, for your relationship to continue. You know, you go down the road and you see a little thing, Saeed, I'm planting a seed, but I see this thing, but I really like. I hope God open a way. Plant a seed. How you get coconut and Portugal if you plant a seed? So viewers, we are out of time for tonight. What I would like to say is, Illa anta mashara ala izi launa. To those who have given and given freely, may God graciously bless you.